All right, welcome. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down the single biggest force that's shaping, well, everything. Your job, your money, your future. It's all about digitalization. And honestly, getting a handle on this isn't optional anymore. So let's dive right in.
So let me just start by asking you a question. If you had to name the single most powerful engine for growth in the world right now, what would you say? Is it some new source of energy, a political movement maybe? What do you think?
Well, according to our source material, the answer is the digital economy. And just look at this claim. It's not just an engine of growth. It's being called the most important one. I mean, think about that. That's a huge statement, putting it ahead of manufacturing, energy, pretty much everything. So what on earth is behind a claim that big? Let's unpack it. Okay, so let's start with that big picture. What really makes digitalization this incredible economic engine? What's the fuel that makes it run so powerfully? First off, this is not just a Silicon Valley thing. Not at all. It's a truly global phenomenon, and it's connecting every single corner of the economy. It's rewriting the rules for a tiny local shop just as much as it is for a giant multinational corporation. It's kind of this great equalizer, but also this massive disruptive force, creating entirely new ways for people to compete.
Right, but the word digitalization gets thrown around constantly, doesn't it? It can feel like just another empty buzzword. So for any of this to be useful, we need a really simple, clear definition. What are we actually talking about here?
See, at its core, digitalization isn't really about buying fancy new computers. It's about using technology to completely rethink how we create value. I mean, take this explainer right here. We're using a digital format to take some pretty dense information and transform it into something that's clear, accessible, and hopefully valuable for you. That's the principle in action. So what are the key ingredients that make this all work? Well, our source points to these 4 big ideas you see here, and they're all connected. It all starts with connectivity, linking everyone and everything together. That massive connection then generates just tons and tons of data, which lets us make much smarter decisions. And that combination, it unlocks entirely new business models, think subscriptions instead of just buying stuff. And it powers automation, which frees up people like you and me to do more creative work. You see how each piece just fuels the next one? It's a cycle. Okay, so that's all the theory, but what does this actually look like out in the real world? Let's check out a couple of examples of how these ideas really come together to completely change things we do every single day. A perfect example is just how we watch movies now. It wasn't that long ago, right, that it was all about physical things. You had to go to a store and buy a DVD. But digitalization didn't just put movies online. No way. It combined super fast internet with a whole new business model, the idea of access over ownership to create streaming. It didn't just tweak the industry, it completely replaced it. Or think about the massive recent shift to remote work. The only reason that was even possible was because of a whole ecosystem of digital tools. Zoom, cloud storage, Slack. This didn't just change our daily commute, it fundamentally changed the entire relationship between us, our bosses, and the idea of what an office even is. Now, let's bring this even closer to home. Just pause for a second. Think about your day so far. The alarm on your phone, the map app you use to check traffic, that podcast you listen to, the tap to pay for your coffee. We are all swimming in this digital ocean, a lot of the time without even realizing we're wet. Okay, so this brings us to the most important part. Because understanding all this is one thing, but the real goal is to actually make it useful. The question becomes, how can we start to use this incredible force to boost our own productivity and improve things in our own work?
Really, the core message from all of this is a call to action. It's about shifting our mindset. We need to go from being just passive consumers of technology to becoming active creators of solutions. It's all about spotting those opportunities to apply these digital principles to innovate and make things better.
And this right here gives us a fantastic, super simple framework for how to start. Step 1, identify. Just find that one thing at work that's super slow or manual or just plain frustrating. We all have one. Step 2, explore. Do a little digging. Is there a digital tool or a process out there that could solve that problem? And then, step 3, propose. Put a plan into action and see if it works. It's a really clear path from problem to a much more productive solution. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just look around. At your job, in your community, even your own daily routines. What's that one clunky, manual process that is just begging for a digital solution? What part of your world is ready to be transformed?